The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, flickering intermittently in the medical bay of the spaceship Astral Voyager. The atmosphere was a chaotic blend of urgency and unfamiliarity, as large diagnostic screens pulsed with information in a mesmerizing array of colors. Alien symbols danced alongside the skeletal outline of a human patient. Dr. Elara Voss, Earth's seasoned trauma surgeon, stood anxiously, her heart racing with a potent mix of fear and determination. She flanked by her alien colleagues, Dr. Gerlax and Dr. Finna, who belonged to the Trilli species renowned across the galaxy for their sharp intellect and innovative medical technology. "Don't worry," Elara Gerlax reassured her, his long silver limbs folding gracefully as he hovered over the patient. His fingers caressed a gleaming orb-like tool, the source of her unease. "We've encountered injuries like his before. We will have him repaired in moments." "I hope that bright thing doesn't vaporize him," she murmured, biting her lip as she stared at the alien device, which emitted a soft teal glow. It felt alien not just in its design but in essence, so far removed from the familiar tools she had mastered throughout her career. "Back on Earth, we usually rely on more traditional methods." "Traditional," Finna replied, her golden eyes narrowing as she twisted her scale-like skin. A gesture Elara assumed was the Trilli version of a frown. "You Earthlings cling to outdated practices. Rubber fetuses and scalpels bear no resemblance to the sophistication of our actation systems." Elara clenched her fists, fighting the urge to retort. Once a respected trauma surgeon on Earth, she found herself feeling diminished, as though her achievements were mere whispers in the tumultuous air of interstellar medicine. The Trilli had only studied human medical practices in a juvenile exercise of mockery. Their advanced techniques appeared to discount an entire history of human endeavor. "Here's the thing," Elara began, forcing a steady smile through her anxious facade. "It may look different, but human medicine has its merits. You just need to give it a chance." She clenched her teeth, unaware of how her voice trembled, defying the turmoil that churned inside her. Gerlax chuckled, the vibrato of his laughter reminiscent of a softly echoing bell. "The chance you speak of is usually better given to molting xynorids. They have higher potential for survival." The patient before them was Samuel, a young human astronaut whose recent aspirations for adventure had turned into desperate chaos on Adira Prime, a world littered with ferocious flora and treacherous landscapes. The spacecraft had been a sanctuary just minutes ago, yet now every second felt like an eternity as he lay unconscious, his chest barely rising. Familiar fears wrestled with the mounting urgency to save a comrade. Hope tethered her humanity in a situation where alien life should have incited terror. "Stop your bickering. Focus," Finna snapped, her chime-like voice cutting through their exchanges. She prodded a series of buttons on her sleek interface, her eyes straining against a stream of fast-moving data. "Human blood transfusions, do you honestly believe they will work? Your system lacks testing among our people." "Because I promise that Samuel's immune system will adapt more positively than you think," Elara protested, desperation creeping into her tone. But Gerlax waved a long, graceful hand dismissively. "Your species has numerous dead ends. We cannot risk our work on a procedure that might further endanger his health. We are far more advanced than this." His glacial fingers moved expertly over Samuel's arm, momentarily pausing as Elara's heart raced in rhythm with his actions. She sensed Gerlax's energy tendril approaching the deep gash on Samuel's shoulder, and panic surged through her. "Relax. Don't," she shouted, rushing to his side. But the alien was quicker, already applying the device with a deftness that defied her own fear. Streams of energy glowed, illuminating Samuel's raw wound, filling the room with a searing light that compelled Elara's heart to race anew. "Do you see?" Finna taunted, a trace of malice in her tones softened by an underlying concern. "You humans still deny the elegance of our methods." With a sudden burst of determination, Elara grasped a small vial filled with bright red plasma, her own blood donation made moments before. "I believe this can stabilize him," she asserted, lifting the vial triumphantly. Gerlax's expression twisted between intrigue and a hint of pity. She felt her heart beat faster. Would they finally see reason? Just as the swirling energy began to narrate their failure in the theater of alien medicine, she prepared to administer the transfusion, hoping it would still hold the promise she believed in. "Reduce energy output to lessen harm," Gerlax ordered, witnessing the exchange unfold with newfound respect. "If this works, I will personally apologize." With the determination of a tightrope walker navigating a narrow path, Elara plunged the syringe into Samuel's neck, her breath held tight. "What if it doesn't work?" "Your technique," Finna's voice trailed off, laden with weighty hesitation. Elara's pulse raced as anticipation coated the air in the room. Then we adapt, she whispered, a smirk pulling at her lips despite the chaos. That's what we Earthlings do. It's a side effect of our stubbornness. Just as Gerlax began to change his perception with admiration surfacing where doubt had dwelled, a horrendous beep filled the air, and the monitors blinked a frantic crimson in response to Samuel's heightened distress. Increasing energy status. Stabilization protocol. Not yet. It'll overload him, Elara cried, lunging toward the machine, but Finna caught her wrist with a surprising firmness, releasing control of the energy output. Gerlax Finna's voice cut through the frenzy, asserting authority as the alien physician stiffened. The air crackled, the combination of harsh alien energy and the warmth of human blood coalescing. The sterile room exploded in brilliant light, a kaleidoscope of pulsating colors swirling around them as if two galaxies had collided. Elara felt a gravity binding her to the patient, their fates inextricably linked. She blocked out the blinding light, focusing solely on Samuel, breathing deeper, channeling every ounce of her willpower into salvaging his life. She believed fiercely in human ingenuity, no matter how often it was discounted by those who didn't understand it. In what felt like an eternity of flickering starlight, the alarms fell silent, plunging the room into an eerie stillness. Samuel's eyelids fluttered, revealing the faint hints of consciousness etched in his blue irises. Time stretched, taut as a thread, uncertainty hanging in the air until moments later, the corners of Samuel's mouth curled into a weak but heartening smile. What a weird dream. Did I miss winding down the oxygen levels? A collective sigh of relief escaped the trio, laughter bubbling unexpectedly amidst their collective uncertainty. Elara grinned widely, tears sparkling in her eyes. You didn't miss your exit, but you sure took an unexpected detour. In that brief moment, the tensions that had defined their interactions melted away, and for the first time, Elara saw in her colleagues not just skilled medic beings but allies eager to learn and share knowledge that straddled the line between their vastly different worlds. The experience had forged a pivotal bond, an intersection of cultures, and for Elara, a small victory over the alien perceptions that once threatened to unravel her sense of self in the cosmos beyond her own. The vibrant hues of the escape vessel's control panel flickered like the auroras of a shattered galaxy, casting elongated shadows on the faces of its occupants. As the ship streaked away from the astral voyager, a vessel now slowly succumbing to the black void of a potential catastrophe, Elara's heart danced with both relief and uncertainty. They had managed to avert immediate disaster, but the future loomed vast and undefined, stretching far beyond the walls of the ship they had just left. Within the vessel, Samuel perched on the edge of his seat, breathing heavily as he regained composure. His vibrant pink hue, further enhanced by mild embarrassment, reminded Elara of the stubborn resilience that threaded through humans, one that resonated strongly during moments of adversity. She could see it in his determination to stay active, to help even when facing threats considerably greater than him. How did we pull that off, he asked, his voice a blend of awe and disbelief. One minute I'm being patched up like a delicate engine, and the next I'm racing through the ship as if it were a Sunday stroll. Gerlax's elongated fingers moved across the ship's interface, sparkling displays reacting to his touch. It was a collective effort. Human ingenuity and Trilli precision formed a perfect alloy today, and let it be noted, he mused with a hint of amusement, you are not as frail as we first assumed. Finna nodded, her voice steady, now carrying the cadence of something deeper than admiration. You possess a distinct fire. We were about to dismiss you as a liability, yet you transformed our fears into purpose. The ship trembled as they reached the point of no return, a faint crackling sound echoing through the hull, a reminder of what lay behind them. Elara sank back into her seat, relief steadily washing over her like a tide, but a knot of uncertainty tightened within her chest. What now? Where do we go from here? There are nearby systems we could investigate, Gerlax replied. Glancing at the readouts, we can recalibrate the navigational settings in less than an hour. Ensuring stability is vital. Finna's perspective sharpened, her glowing scales shimmering with renewed intensity. Our collective skills can be harnessed to maintain equilibrium not just for our own benefit, but also in service to those who require urgent medical attention. Elara's heart soared at that thought. You mean establishing a medical outpost among the systems? Offering a safe haven during interstellar emergencies? Inspiration ignited the room, casting shadows aside as excitement sparked in her eyes. Yes, Finna encouraged, her tone underscoring the alliance that had blossomed. To create a sanctuary of healing. That is a project worth embarking upon. We could create synergy between our cultures, merging medical practices in an unprecedented manner. And it would honor the lives we've just saved. Samuel's enthusiasm leaped across the cabin, contagious in its passion. Imagine training both Trilli and humans on vital interventions. It would change everything. We could pave the way for future collaboration rather than mere tolerance. A sense of purpose began to fervently pulse within the cabin, threading them together in a newfound light. They weren't just survivors of a crisis, they were pioneers on the cusp of exploration, prepared to craft something substantial from the chaotic fragments that surrounded them. Elara took a breath, feeling the exhilarating comfort of shared dreams slither through her body. If we can gather the right resources and forge our way into the interstellar community, there's no telling what we could achieve. Medical practices melding with technology, the potential is limitless. Suddenly, a beep cut through the burgeoning enthusiasm as Grelax received a transmission from their navigational system. His brow furrowed as the display filled with alarming data. Incoming vessel detected. Large cargo class. Unauthorized approach. Against the odds, Elara quipped nervously, wiping her brow of sweat as the undertones of anxiety infiltrated her previously buoyant thoughts. This day just keeps getting better, doesn't it? Prepare for contact, Finna declared, her eyes narrowing with calculation. The shift in atmosphere sharpened their focus, everyone falling instinctively into a readiness to act. Could it be a rescue? Samuel offered, his voice laced with curiosity but a twinge of trepidation. Or simply more trouble knocking on our door? Only one way to find out. Elara straightened, her heart thrumming with renewed adrenaline. Let's see what kind of cargo awaits you, as hopefully something more along the lines of lifesavers than weapons. The ship's systems hummed to life around them as they braced for whatever surprise awaited. They gathered themselves, sharing determined glances, a habit forming in their camaraderie. The four of them had become more than mere colleagues. They had melded into a unit shaped by compassion, emboldened by shared experience. As the looming silhouette of the cargo ship grew larger on the display, shock ricocheted through Elara. The craft was unmistakably bold, a colored emblem gleaming beneath the ship's exterior shone proudly against the blackened void of space. Is that a pirate emblem? Samuel uttered incredulously, his eyes wide. Wait. Do pirates even exist out here? It looks to be an escort ship, Grelax replied, scanning the digital readout. Structured for biohazard recovery. They've come to us for assistance, reporting issues we've been experiencing. Their dispatch may lead to a trap as well. Elara's instincts flagged, awareness prickling at the back of her neck. We need to approach with caution. Let's establish a connection and assess what they want. We have little options left. Finna, eyebrows raised, became attuned to the thrumming tension. If they seek aid, we risk tethering ourselves into a potential battle. Pirates are notorious in this region. They will not hesitate to exploit any perceived vulnerability. I'm sure we can bluff our way out, Samuel chirped, but Elara raised a hand to quell any frivolous behaviors. We're here to build connections, not burn bridges. Learning from previous mistakes means being prepared for any negotiations requiring understanding. As Grelax synced their communications, Elara held her breath, a collective shudder of anticipation coursing through them all. Screens blinked as holographic projections lit up the space ahead, revealing a rugged but earnest Trilli face. Inbound vessel, will you respond? Elara nodded, her voice steadying. This is Dr. Elara Voss aboard the medical vessel. We received your distress signal. What seems to be the issue? The pirate representative appeared somewhat disheveled, exuding a frantic yet genuine urgency. Our team is trapped in a biohazard field, and we've sustained casualties. We've come to ask for assistance. We must leave before our vessel implodes. Elara felt the weight of their decision settle in. Are you certain your crew is compromised? Because if we assist, we must ensure our rescue does not leave us open to further harm. We possess necessary knowledge and equipment. Your medical prowess is needed. We will owe you a debt ensuring safe passage, I promise. That is not enough, Grelax interjected, concern flooding his features. We need assurances that your ship has viable technology to suppress the biohazard field, or we cannot proceed. As they deliberated amidst a rising tide of uncertainty, Elara's mind began to race, weighing the risks with every thought. She turned to Samuel and Finna, their expressions mirroring both fear and determination. Should we risk offering help? Elara posed, gauging their reactions. This could be a pivotal moment to extend what we've begun here, to redefine our approach to crisis and collaboration across species. or it could endanger us all. Wherever this journey might take them, Elara realized that they were standing not just in the vastness of space, but also at the brink of challenging everything she had once believed about working across an unbridgeable divide. Whispers of hope spurred her. There would be no easy decisions ahead, only galactic alliances worth forging, and she would be damned if she shied away now. With palpable resolve, she looked over at Samuel. Together, we'll make the choice. Samuel cracked a smile, the warmth of their bond brightening despite their uncertainty. Well, if it's trouble, I'm all in. What do we have to lose? Elara felt the rush of adrenaline kingdom her thoughts, her heart racing. Then let's show the universe what we're capable of achieving together. As they took a collective breath, bracing themselves for the unknown, Elara felt the thrill of possibility unfurling before them. No matter the challenges ahead, they stood shoulder to shoulder, ready to face whatever darkness might lurk on the edge of the cosmos. Together, forged in adversity, they would rise. The escape vessel surged through the dark tapestry of space, carrying the weary but resilient crew members away from the clutches of impending disaster. Elara Voss caught her breath and glanced over at Samuel, who still wore that infectious grin despite the chaos they had just escaped. The rhythmic hum of the engine lulled the crew, mingling with the soft beeping of the vessel's control panel as it assured them of their safe trajectory. We did it, Elara marveled, wrapping her arms around herself not out of fear, but to contain the bubbling energy of triumph swelling within her. The faint glow of the stars outside created a serene backdrop, contrasting starkly with the chaos they just encountered. Not just we, Samuel chimed, his vibrant energy palpable. He gestured to Grelax and Finna, who were busy reviewing the medical data from their makeshift operations on the Astral Voyager. We've created this amazing team. I never thought I'd have a Trilli team beside me saving lives 1,000 light years away from home. We've transcended boundaries, Finna agreed, her golden scales shimmering as she sifted through the data. In the face of crisis, unity emerged. Our potential as a coalition bears possibilities unmarred by our previous skepticism. Elara nodded, her mind alight with the potential that danced tantalizingly on the edge of revisioning interstellar medicine. Just think of the advancements we can create. The blend of our practices, sciences, it's only the beginning. She replied, the thrill of opportunity sparking excitement in the pit of her stomach. Grelax turned from the monitor, an echo of amazement still resonating in the depth of his azure eyes. In a matter of hours, we forged not just reactions propelled by desire for survival, but a collective identity, a true synergy ignited against the backdrop of desperation. He grasped Elara's shoulder with one of his elegant limbs, a gesture that felt almost paradoxical to their former relations, yet now conveyed solidarity. If anything, today has proven that our medical practices can dance together, meld together like strands of encrypted DNA, forming a new life altogether. Elara beamed. That's a perfect way to put it. A dandelion bursting from the cracks of concrete, thriving against all odds. We've found the sublime in our differences. Samuel chuckled. You've got a poetic touch for a trauma surgeon, Elara. When this is over, I definitely want you to pen the book on our adventures. The one where humans and Trilli collaborated to save the galaxy. Amid laughter and shared excitement, Finna interrupted, her expression shifting with purpose. If we resolve to embark on a deeper collaboration, we must first ascertain the medical misconceptions surrounding both species. Only then can we articulate our findings to wider interstellar communities. At that moment, a transmission ping echoed through the shuttle, jarring them from their revelry. The face of Captain Maria Lentz flickered onto the holographic display, her expression serious but relieved. Elara, Samuel, Grelax, and Finna reporting back after your successful evacuation. We've received updates from the main fleet. The vessel is stabilized for the moment. We were able to save most of the crew, Elara reported swiftly, an undercurrent of pride threading her words. We encountered a medical emergency during the evacuation and implemented a few of our hybrid techniques. It was successful. There was a beat of silence as Lentz processed this. I knew I could count on you. The immediate operations performed have saved lives today. We've got to gather everyone to discuss what we'll report back to command. We need to ensure that our experience and your incredible teamwork sets the precedent for future collaborations. Absolutely, Elara affirmed, a wave of exhilaration washing over her. We've witnessed how well we function as a unit. We have to advocate for the incorporation of both human and Trilli medical protocols in future fringes of space exploration. Then it's settled, Captain Lentz declared, her voice steadying as she turned serious once again. You are to present a summary report detailing your experiences during the evacuation. We want to compile a full dossier on how interspecies cooperation played a critical role in rescuing lives, offering an example to future operations. With the command fostering a sense of accountability, Elara exchanged determined glances with Samuel. Sounds like we have work to do, he remarked, a hint of eagerness glowing in his voice. Strategizing our approaches to both medical heartbreaks and triumphs will be our next step. I'll start drafting suggestions, Finna chimed in, her tone animated, fingers already dancing over the interface. So will I, Relax added, his long fingers gliding gracefully over the console. We can create an integrated manual, helping future missions deal with emergencies in ways that coexist rather than conflict. As the shuttle cruised through the void, the crew found themselves enveloped in the warmth of renewed purpose. Their camaraderie, born from urgency and built through shared laughter and respect, was solidified, intertwining their fates in ways unimaginable just hours ago. The color of space faded to twilight as the shuttle illuminated their planning assembly, mapping out future initiatives. The darkness enveloped around them like the protective umbrella of unity. The symphony of space, they would call it, a new venture that would echo through interstellar realms, forging allies and advancing medicine hand in hand. Whatever lay ahead, the group was ready to face it together. The lessons learned had etched deep into their hearts, leaving behind impressions of what the cosmos could mean when souls intertwined. They had paved a path forged with tenacity, laughter, and trust, a luminous bridge from where they stood into the vast infinity yet to explore. And so, with hearts that beat as one, they charted their course toward a renewed mission, not only of survival, but of thriving in the galaxy forged by understanding and friendship. They had survived the tumult of the astral voyager. Now they would step forth into the cosmos, determined to provide healing wherever they went.